Hey guys, what more today? So in today's video we talk about the Chiefs versus the Blues in round 5 of Super Rugby Aotearoa. So this will be a very exciting game, obviously, with the Chiefs getting their first win within Super Rugby Aotearoa last week against the Hurricanes. Yeah, that was a huge win for them. Obviously they came back within that game, which was a pretty good watch, I have to say. Yeah, no, hopefully they can do the double, and yeah, hopefully they can get their second win within this competition. On the other hand, the Blues did actually get their first loss so far within this campaign with their loss against the Crusaders at home last week. And yeah, that was a heartbreaking one. Obviously, I am a Blues fan, so yeah, that was a tough one to take. And to be fair to the Crusaders, they just proved how strong a team they really are. And even though there's a lot of talk you could say towards the scrum, you could say the Blues did dominate that scrum, but more or less the Crusaders were just too dominant, and the amount of penalties they got just put them out of our reach. But anyway, besides that game, yeah, this game should be very exciting, obviously. Yeah, here's the teams, obviously, for both sides. I'll run them by you guys to tell you what I think about them, and I'll give you my predictions right afterwards. So starting off with the Chiefs, looking at the Chiefs, they have the likes of, Aiden Ross as well as Angus Talbot, which is a pretty good combination, I'd say, within the, for the props. But they are facing the likes of, Nepo Lalala as well as Alex Hodgman. So I would probably edge it towards the Blues within that area. I think that's one of the main areas the Blues are strongest in out of all the positions within against any team. I think it's the props. They have 4 All Black starters, so I think I'm gonna most of the time say the Blues will win that section. When you look at the hooker, though, the hooker I actually will go with the Chiefs. I just think Tofalaho is just a better hooker compared to Tolahi. But Tolahi he's an up-and-coming up-and-coming hooker, but I feel he just hasn't had enough Super Rugby experience yet. And yeah, Tokalaho for the Chiefs. He had a good season last year, and I thought that he has really improved. And yeah, he was very good throughout that last week's game against the Hurricanes. Yeah, no, definitely one to watch player. Then moving on to the locks. So the locks, obviously, for both sides. I mean, yeah, you have the likes of Finlu and Al Kui, which is interesting to see because obviously that means that Tupou Vale will be rested within this game, which is deserved in the sense where he's just been brilliant for them throughout this whole campaign so far. So yeah, no, it'll be, you can say, not their best lineup for locks, you could say, but they'll be facing the likes of Patrick Tupoloto, who obviously will be captain again for the Blues, and his partner in crime will be Josh Goodhue again. So yeah, to be fair to them, I actually thought they were very good within the the lineouts actually last week against the Crusaders. It's one of they were, out of all the teams I've seen so far, the Blues have actually been the best in actually breaking down the lineouts from the Crusaders. So I got to give them credit in that aspect. But yeah, hopefully they can do more of that within this game. But yeah, I'll probably edge it towards the Blues within that area for sure. Yeah, moving on to the loose forwards. I mean, with the loose forwards, you do have the likes of Mitch Brown, Sam Kane, who's one of the co-captains, of course, for the Chiefs, and then you have the likes of Luke Jacobson. So yeah, it's a pretty good loose forward pack there. Good trio. I'd probably say that Sam Kane will be crucial within this game. He's so good within the breakdown. If he wins a lot of penalties for the Chiefs, then yeah, I think the Chiefs will have a they'll be within the game for sure. I can just say that for much. They are facing the likes of the same trio again for the Blues. With Akira Ione, Dalton Papali'i, and then Hoskins Tutu. So it should be interesting there. Obviously, with Papali'i coming back into the side following that from last week, because we had Blake Gibson, I believe, and so it's good to see Papali'i back in because that's kind of our best, I'd say, loose forward back in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, I think this is kind of. Normally, I would say this is more swaying towards the Blues, but I'm actually looking at the the Chiefs, and I'm looking at the Chiefs' loose forward pack, and I'm kind of looking at it. It could be better at this point, but I'm still going to stick with the Blues at this, just because I feel they have a better trio. But anyway, moving on to the backs. So with the backs, you do have the likes of with a 9-10 combination. You do have Brad Weber as well as Caleb Trask for the Chiefs, but they'll be facing the likes of Finley Christie, who's actually come in for Jonathan Ruru from last week's game. And then obviously Aotearoa Black. So that's a pretty good combo, I'd say. I mean, both sides wouldn't say have the strongest 9-10 combination. If I had to give it to one, I'd probably edge it just to the Blues, just because I think Brad Weber is the better scrum half compared to Finley Christie. But then I think Aotearoa Black's better than Caleb Trask. And if you're looking between who's a better player within their position between Trask and Christie, I would edge it towards Christie at this point. So yeah, I think the Blues would just win that area. But that'll be a key battle for sure within the game for sure between Aotearoa Black and Trask. Anyway, moving on to the centres. Obviously for the centres, the Chiefs actually haven't changed their centres, and they still have Quintupea and Anselano Brown, which I think is their best combination in my opinion. I think Quintupea had a brilliant game, I'd say, last week. He was just a battering ram, and hopefully he can just continue that. He definitely stepped up his form, which is what you want to see. And then Anselano Brown, what can I say? sensational within last week's game. Yeah, if he can just keep that momentum up, then that's all I can ask from him, really. Yeah, no, with the Blues, they also haven't actually changed their central combination, which, to be frank, I wish they did. I mean, you have TJ Varney who's on the bench at the moment, and he's actually come back now. I mean, he could have played within last week's game, but they still haven't decided to use him, which is kind of surprising to me because I thought he played brilliantly throughout last year's Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. So but you do have the likes of Harry Plummer obviously and Rico, who's that central combination. I just feel if you had TJ Varney and Rico, I think it would be better. But anyway, I will actually edge it towards the Chiefs within that area. I just think that the combination of Tapia and Antonio Brown is just slightly better than Rico and Plummer. Moving on to the wingers. So obviously for the Chiefs, they actually have changed both the wingers from this week's game. With the likes of Sean Manui getting that 11 spot, as well as Sean Stevens getting that 14. So it's an interesting one because obviously they are replacing the likes of Nana Aotearoa as well as Lowe. So it should be interesting to see if they do well in this game. Because obviously that winger area was probably one of the areas where they just weren't in the game, to be frank, for last week's game. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But anyway, with the Blues, obviously, they have stuck with their wingers. They actually have, they've gone obviously with Caleb Clark, which is kind of obvious in that sense. He's a pretty good winger. But then they have actually brought back Martelea, which is great to see. Obviously, last week you have, who did you have? You have Reyes. And I thought he had a pretty good game, actually. But more or less, I think Martelea is probably the better winger. And I think he's just more suited to that back line at this point. He just has a bit more chemistry to rely on. So, I just like Martelea a lot. But anyway, I think I would edge towards the Blues within that area, just. But anyway, we go to the last position, which is obviously the fullback. And you do have the likes of David Kenzie, who has just been brilliant to watch so far. So, he's going to be definitely one of the most influential players for this game by far, in my opinion. But he will be facing the likes of Stephen Perifetta from the Blues. And Stephen Perifetta has, he's definitely progressed over time. And, he obviously had injuries in the past, which has kind of prevented him, you could say, from actually playing. But throughout this year, he's actually been pretty good so far. So I think he's definitely stepping up his game. So he's definitely one to watch out for. But I think it's an obvious human select here. And I think McKenzie will definitely win that battle for sure. But anyway, that's kind of it with the lineups. If I had to say who would actually win the game and give my prediction, I'd probably edge it toward, normally I would say the Blues win this flat out. But because the Chiefs actually, they're coming back from a win and the Blues are actually coming back from a loss, obviously the loss is to the Crusaders, so it's not too big of a loss, but in a sense where both teams will definitely want to continue their winning, will want to get a win within this game. I think it'll be a very close match, but I think I'm going to still go with the Blues. I'll say that win this game only by 2 points though. So I'm going to say the Blues will win this game, I'll say 29-27. 29-27 to the Blues is my final score. Anyway, just hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. And click that I just want to see you guys commenting below. Just tell me who you guys think will, just win. But anyway, have a good day. And talk to you guys soon.